Shubor nakaslem jong unongsan Hima.
Ka Dr. Tara Douglas next ni ka lai Tarik Lber arjar arpoi kalakot la wer ya baro kikenhun bat kinong sna plem mani simbanta hak jing ai jing hikai ka ba arta yo ka ban salong hak school ba North Eastern Hills University Shillong habai kran bitkilat bithai ko bor ka Dr. Tara Douglas kalaong bakalong ka badon kam ban pene pensa khana jong kilong shwa manchwa kiba kijui thu khana sa kilong den Kilong shwa manchwa kimdon ya katho katar rai tang da ba shu ya thu khana bat penhiar pateng ya ka khana ka ba maki kitep sa kilong den nakaliang ka Dr. Tara kalaong dak jingarap jongka NEC kalala banti bnya bha habai dei bat ka wei ka jat ben riu trairi ka badon ha Arunachal ka wancho kani ka kanhun ka shong ka sa ha ka jaka ka ba kandong bha ka badon ha ki khaput bat kari Myanmar. Kani ka jing ai jing hikai kan long ro ban ai men semi kanong snap film animation manisim banta ban kring ya ki samla bat don sap manisim banta lang bat hagani ka jing ai jing hikai an wani sim bantaru na kaleng kari India.
About this project which is starting here in Shillong. It's called the Wancho Animation Workshop. And it is a project sponsored by the Northeast Council here in Shillong. It's a research and community media project. Actually, it is called The Stories of Our Ancestors is the name of the bigger project, and the Wancho Animation Workshop, which is starting next week, is one chapter of that project. As I mentioned, it is a research project and media project. And it's kicking off here in Shillong at the Northeastern Hill University at Nehu in the Department of Anthropology. We are organizing the 2-week-long workshop. It's the Wancho Animation Workshop. And we are inviting at least 18 participants are coming from outside of Shillong. There will be a group of people from the Wancho community in Longding district in Arunachal Pradesh, and we're also inviting some students of animation and digital media and also some media professionals. And this project, this event is bringing together this group of people, and we're going to look at the folklores, the mythologies and the oral histories of the Wancho people in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, this project also has involved and is currently involving field research, whereby the researcher and media people, we go off to the village and we interact and we communicate with the elder people, and we record their stories and their memories and their folklores and their mythologies, and then we translate it into English, because it is being told to us in the native tongue of Wancho language. And then now, this is the next phase here at Nehu, whereby we're inviting this group of people to now do the next phase of translation, which is from the text, right? From the oral to the text, and now to the audiovisual medium. And we're choosing one of these Wancho stories, and we're going to animate it. We're going to turn it into a short animated film. And it's going to be the first animated folk tale based on the Wancho oral traditions. And really I wanted to tell you about this because this workshop, which runs from the 16th, we're having our inauguration on Tuesday at the ICSSR conference room on the Nehu campus. So if any of you could come, that would be great. And that's on Tuesday the 16th at 11 o'clock in the morning. And then this kicks off our 2-week-long program. And in this program, we are going to be doing storytelling sessions, translation of these stories, and we're also, finally, one of the outputs of this project is going to be an anthology of Wancho folk tales, bilingual. So it will be in English and in Wancho language, and it will be available for researchers, for general readership and also for Wancho people, because they've only recently developed their script and they don't have any reading material, so now this collection of their own folk heritage will be available to them in their own script, in their own language, as learning material. And I have been involved in this field of research. My background is actually as a media professional, as an animation practitioner, and I have come into this work through many years of visiting the Northeast region and working with different communities in the Northeast, in Arunachal Pradesh, previous different communities like the Apatanis and the Galos, and in Manipur and in Nagaland, the Naga tribes, and also in Sikkim with the Lepchas. So that's got me into this field of the traditional folklores. And as for the Wanchos, they approached me finally and they said, nobody comes here. We are afraid of our traditions being lost. Please come and please document it. And it's really their enthusiasm for this project and their willingness to share and to be part of this project that is making it happen. Of course, there is the practicalities of the finances and things, which thankfully this time is being generously, kindly supported by the Northeast Council, and also having this base here at Nehu is important for us in the Department of Anthropology, because it's such a sensitive area as well. That's another thing. I mean, take the Wanchos, they are very close to the Myanmar border. It's a disturbed area, classified as a disturbed area. Visitors do not go there. And then there's also the cultural sensitivities, to take these stories and convert it for a different medium and animation, and how to do it with accuracy and authenticity and sensitivity. And this is where the Department of Anthropology is so important, because there we get the background of understanding the context of where these stories come from, and that's so important. Because finally these films, they are going to be there for a long time, and they're going to be dubbed into different languages, and they're going to be viewed years into the future and online and stuff. So, it has to be done well, and thankfully we have the backing of the Department of Anthropology to help us. And then we've got these digital experts and media students of animation from these top institutes across India coming, because we've got to get it looking technically good. First stage of this workshop of assembling all these people together from different parts of India. We've got students coming from Manipal Institute of Art, Design and Technology in Bangalore. We've got people coming from there. We've got students also coming from the National Institute of Design in Andhra Pradesh, and also from the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute in Kolkata. And we've also invited some independent media producers and designers based in Northeast. So some people will be coming from Guwahati and from Gangtok, Sikkim. So it would be fantastic if we could also have some participants and some people coming from Meghalaya, which is why we want to tell everyone about this project and invite people to come. The program starts at 10 o'clock every day, and it's running every day of the week. Of course, on Saturday and Sunday, there's a bit of a slower pace. And during this 2-week workshop, we're going to be having presentations by filmmakers and also by academics and professionals from the anthropology department. And we'll also be having some online discussions with professors and people from abroad who are not able to come due to the COVID restrictions. As well as that, we're going to be having daily film screenings in the morning and the evening. And these film screenings will be of films made by independent filmmakers and animators and artists, and also indigenous artists and filmmakers from across the world, to inspire the team to see what can be done with the art and the storytelling traditions of this region. So starting off with the Wancho chapter from Arunachal Pradesh, and that's because, this Wancho community almost even in India itself, very few people know who they are or where they are. So we're starting with the one show, and then, as I mentioned, we will be moving on to some different communities, so long as we get support for this kind of work. And, these days we hear so much depressing news in the media, so hopefully this is something to basically inspire the young people in this area to think beyond looking only for government jobs and stuff. That they can use their talents and their artistic skills, which is innate in this area of India, to develop new representations, new interpretations, and to really tell the world about these wonderful cultural traditions in this region. It's going to be part of a collection of short animated films from different tribes, different communities in Northeast India, of which the next chapter will be, after this, will be Funkul from Manipur. These 2 chapters have been sponsored by the Northeast Council to see how we get along. And it's the first time that these stories from these very remote, very distant, very neglected communities is going to get out into the world, And okay, so on the one hand, the reason for doing this project is the fact that, the modern way of life is kind of threatening these traditional narratives, this traditional storytelling. So the younger people now are, they're having to, of course, go through the formal education system, and they are no more hearing the stories from their elders, so this rich heritage is getting lost. So we're trying to preserve it on the one hand and document it, but also not just preserve it and keep it in some archive, but make it available to contemporary young people, try to re-engage the young people from these communities and from Northeast in general in this rich storytelling heritage. And how to do that? Well, this medium of film and animation is so attractive, and it's so widely available now on the mobile devices. Everyone is looking all the time at their mobiles. Why should people in this region not be able to see content on their mobiles which is actually culturally relevant to them? And our workshop concludes on the 30th of this month, so it's 2 weeks. And I really urge any of you to come along if you can make the time. Our team, we have quite a sort of rigorous schedule, daily schedule, because we have a lot of things that we want to get on with. We also have, practical sessions in animation, so we'll be trying out all different types of animation techniques using artwork created by our local people, our Wancho participants, so it should reflect the local Wancho artistic traditions that they have over there. And then we'll be using techniques, experimental animation techniques of filming directly under the camera with little models. We'll be using local materials such as bamboo and beads and clay and all of that, and to try and really get a nice local flavor to the animation. And so therefore, that's the idea of this project and having this workshop, is to gather these people all with specialized skills in their own departments, the media professionals, the anthropology side, and also the local people who can verify that the stories are the way they should be told and all of that, and the artistic traditions, how to get it across. So it's really quite an interesting project, an unusual project. And hopefully it's going to lead to, it's like that. It's a project which goes on for a couple of years, actually, because first there's the ethnographic research, the field research, recording the stories, translating it. Then this workshop where we're working with young people. For 2 weeks is quite a long period of time for a workshop, but in terms of making an animation film, it's absolutely nothing, because the animation film production is going to go on for probably till near the end of the year, because we want to get a very good output. As I mentioned, we're putting it into the 3 languages, Wancho, English and Hindi, and maybe later on in other languages as well. So there's an animation film, and then there's a Tankul film which is coming up next chapter, and then there's also book publications. So, they are sponsoring this, and I hope it will cover all of this costs. not sure. It's they're sponsoring us reasonably, but we have a lot of activities that we're promising for that, and we're really determined to give the best output and good quality of everything. So, that's the other thing that I wanted to briefly mention, because this is something which I have discovered in my research. Because the state of the world as it is, with the climate change, with the overuse of natural resources, and also, as we are seeing this, in many cases, the breakdown of society and communication. Now, when we look at the indigenous traditions, the folklores of this area, and in this particular case, the Wangchu, we see that perhaps there are solutions, perhaps there are things that we can find from these traditions to actually help resolve some of these problems in the world, because the Wangchus, they have a lot of respect for the environment. They have this thing whereby they don't overutilize the resources, and this community cooperation, that they all help each other in so many activities throughout the year. So I think these are very important messages for so-called urbanized people like myself and media people, and the media is basically, I feel that it's, it has a good, strong role to promote this